This go on Wednesday, the 26th of October 2022. I can confirm that Rule Zero was not broken because of the events of yesterday and Monday, because that was my usual self today. So, sorry, I'm just moving. I went to assembly, study, and I said, you don't have assembly today because you've all done such a good job doing duty. You can all go to the canteen and get hot chocolate. So that everyone went on the way to the canteen, and I decided instead of going to the canteen, I'm gonna go to class because I have media first. So I'll go there, but he wasn't in, so I decided to just sit down and read, and I finished the second volume of Preacher. This is a second chance review for a comic. I've never done this before. This time I like it. And the thing is that it's also going to be very offensive. The introduction promised it to me, but there wasn't really much stuff. It was like a couple lines of dialogue and a couple of panels. It was like brie cheese foreskin and getting pegged while blowing a goat, stuff like that. I feel it's legal for me to say these things in the UK, but I mean, it's legal to read Preacher in the United Kingdom, so I haven't broken a law. Anyway, instead of finishing up in Kiss of the Vampire, we went into games. So we had 3 questions. It was what are the issues in the gaming industry? Why do people play games? And how have games evolved over the years? He then put on a clip from, I think it was Johnny English Free, where he has like a VR headset, which I think is for like training or something. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but it was for training. He wasn't supposed to leave the room, despite the fact that because whoever wrote it doesn't understand VR, he did have to leave the room, but in university didn't. He had to stay where he was. Yeah, wasn't supposed to leave, and he left. Yeah, it was trying to assassinate a couple targets, and he didn't assassinate people in real life, but he was beating them up with like baguettes when he in the VR was like batons and all. It was funny, except for how unrealistic it is, and I don't mean like the coincidences of it, if you know what I mean. Like he just so happened to, there was a double decker bus that just so happened to be in his path at the point where he had to walk upstairs in the game. Like I don't mean that. That's fine. That's typical for a Rowan Atkinson film or show. And I love Rowan Atkinson. The problem I have with it is the fact that the way that VR game was designed was you have to leave the room because whoever has wrote it does not understand VR. But that's fine. Suspend my disbelief. Something I wish the loader theaters could do. Anyway, after that, he put on a video from Charlie Brooker about games, and I'm glad it's Charlie Brooker because he actually plays games. I know that he plays games because he loves Sniper Elite so much, where he had a cameo in Sniper Elite 3 as one of Hitler's bodyguards. And the video was good, except for the fact that there was a bit where I don't know if he took a clip from a Dara Ó Briain interview or he was actually interviewing Dara Ó Briain himself, but Dara Ó Briain was complaining about a bit in Gears of War where you have to get a berserker to bust down 3 doors, and he, he got past the first and second doors fine, and by the time he got to the third door, he died because he was too busy thinking, why the hell is there, like, I can't do an Irish accent anymore, but, Irish accent, why the fuck's there 3 fucking hallways in a fucking one building, when, it's a game. Usually games do things in threes. Like, it's actually a bit weird to not do stuff in threes in games. Anyway. And he was complaining because it's like, games is the only thing where if you're not good enough, you won't be able to access the entire thing. Like, the example he said was that if you're reading a book, the book isn't going to suddenly ask, did you understand the first chapter? If not, go back to the start and read it again in order to read the second chapter, because it can't. TV shows can't, whereas games can, because of how interactive they are. I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, that's the whole point. Like, yeah, if there's a really hard bit, then I'm glad that, like, GTA 5 has a bit where you can skip it. But, I mean, I've played Gears of War, that segment, that easy. Anyway. That is it until English, where I don't remember how it got brought up in the conversation, but they were asking me about Incident 4, and some of the stuff that they said was like that I tried to fair dig her. For my Indian audience, a fair dig is a fight. Apparently I tried to fight the study teacher, and well, what I would call it a fight, but it's a mental fight. It's not a physical fight, as they were describing it. They said that I was stomping up angrily to her. I knocked the chair backwards on its ass and all that. When it comes to standing up, what I did was, instead of pushing the chair out and standing up, I stood up, which automatically, because of physics, just pushes the chair backwards anyway. And as with the stomp, right, I did that out of fear. I was not angry. Okay, I was angry, but I was more scared than I was angry. So, like, because I'm a director, and I can't say that, because I'm a director, like, I'm viewing it as angles. If this were a scene in a film, I would have had a low angled shot, because I'm the inferior person in this conflict. Yeah, that's it, really. So, this is Twitter as of 9 to 7 p.m. Just Stop Oil activists, really put activists in air quotes, spray paint Ferrari, Bentley, and Bugatti dealerships with orange paint. Why are they always spray painting stuff with orange paint? I don't understand it. Speaking of orange things, Jesus. I'm screenshotting this. Honestly, this person deserves to have their human rights taken away. Because, I mean, they're justifying it by saying, oh, they're so young to the point where they don't have any dreams or ambitions. They're barely a human. So what? That does not justify them dying. It does not. So his entire thing is like, parents crying over their dead 10-year, like, he says 13 plus, dead 12-year-old. He thinks that the parents are pussies for crying over a dead 12-year-old because that 12-year-old didn't have dreams or ambitions and wasn't a fully developed person. Well, 13-year-olds aren't fully developed, but you get the point. You're evil. You deserve to go into an insane asylum. Okay, what is Eddie doing now? Okay. I probably can't even show that. So, Tales of the Jedi as I review is coming Sunday. I've looked to see the link for the episodes, and it's the longest one I think is 19 minutes. And also, this week's episode of Andor is 57 minutes, the longest episode. What? Just why? I'm sorry. I'm trying to like it, but it's just getting worse every week. Right, okay, someone's actually telling the truth here. Yes, the ECHR has nothing to do with the European Union. They are a completely separate state. They're not even, their headquarters aren't even in the same country. EU's in France. I don't know where the ECHR is, but just, it isn't France. They're nothing alike. Brexit does not affect the ECHR. I don't know how I missed this in yesterday's video. Ford Fiesta card said to be discontinued as model scrapped. And also, I think they're scrapping the Bugatti. No. They're scrapping something else along with the Fiesta. Weed dealers must be raging. I don't know how. Oh. So he tweeted this. Then he tweeted this. Then he tweeted this. That's why. Wow, this play up check my music is this gonna be the mad lad, isn't it? Yeah, 28. Are you playing Ram Ranch 7? Why not playing the first one? Like, the main one. I completely forgot about Ram Ranch for a couple of years there. You're not a sex positive, gender fluid special boy. You're a broken person who was exposed to pornography as a child and never developed a relationship with God. Anyone know what's prompted this disturbing spike in conspiracy theories about the WEF and age-old tropes about globalist plots? Seems to have a lot worse in the last few weeks. I can solve this mystery for you. The WEF literally put out a video saying, "You'll own nothing and you'll be happy." Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. NY Supreme Court orders reinstatement of fired on-fac staff with back pay, says being vaccinated does not prevent an individual from contracting or transmitting corona, adding that the mandates were about compliance. Huge. Elon Musk, the closed Twitter deal on Friday. Huge. Elon better stop all the stuff I keep complaining about on Twitter. Looking for apologies from everyone who supported vaccine mandates and vaccine passports, but I haven't found any. Well, Piers Morgan did apologise. Jewishness poses the greatest threat to US democracies, says The Guardian. America's problem is the Jewish people keeping back the Republican Party, says The Washington Post. Jewishness is a pandemic, says The Root. The Jewishness of wealth, why black Americans pay higher taxes, says NPR. If you replace the word whiteness with Jewishness, pretty much every major news publication sounds like Kanye. Oh. Alright. I thought they were genuine articles that those places put out. Like, I thought the whole point of the thread was, why did this suddenly go from hating the Jews to supporting them?
Well, it's just a year and a half ago that the director of the CDC, Rochelle Walensky, who claims to be a physician, went on MSNBC to say that the COVID shot stops the transmission of COVID.
Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
Vaccinated people do
the research that they never carried out.
Not carry the virus, they don't get sick, said the head of the CDC. And to prove it, Walensky took the shot and the boosters. She took her most recent shot, the Omicron-specific booster, just a month ago. And then what happened? You know how the story ends. This week, Rochelle Walensky tested positive for COVID. But she's reportedly grateful for the protection the vaccine provided. Now, why are we telling you this story? For two reasons. One, in order to preserve the credibility of federal agencies and of our healthcare sector more broadly, Rochelle Walensky should apologize for the misinformation that she spread throughout the American media, A. B, this doesn't work, and we should not be pushing it on kids. Now, if Rochelle Walensky wants to get 11 boosters, that's up to her. But kids should not be required to get this as a precondition of being educated in this country. That's insane.
I think she deserves more apology. I honestly hope that Ethan Klein did not remake the Gru meme from years ago. And I especially hope that he didn't do it recently. Someone I hate says some dumb shit. Celebrate and support their unfair deplatforming. I say some dumb shit. People try to unfairly deplatform me. What about my free speech? I really hope this isn't actually Ian. On earth is Fetterman still leading in the polls? He should be at home recovering. Tens of millions of US citizens were given a corona decree violation score as a result of data harvesting program conducted during the first lockdown by voter analytics firm PredictWise. PredictWise, not Predict. Newly published federal data reveals close to 100 individuals listed on the FBI terror watch list have been apprehended at the southern border in last year, a record high and a huge uptick in recent months. So maybe they're starting to meet their quotas and maybe they can back off from looking at us. Two prominent polls released in the past week revealed that Americans' trust in the mainstream media is at a near all-time low, with a significant majority believing that it's a threat to freedom.
I am proud to be black. 3, 2, 1.
Well, all right, y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm glad that we all strongly agree.
I am proud to be black.
I'm glad I surround myself with people that exclusively agree with me.
3, 2, 1.
Just be in the middle.
Yeah. Can there be a middle?
All right.
Yeah, pick a side. Pick a side. I don't know.
No, how dare you sit in the fence? You have to pick a side.
I almost went there too. It's
Because as that one guy said in RE class, if you sit in the fence, a cat is going to die or something.
I think, like, guiltily, like, I'm, like, happy that I'm not oppressed, but I'm not proud of, like, things people have done in the past.
when I think of
Except they weren't your fault. There's nothing you could have done about it because it happened before you were born. You shouldn't take guilt for that.
being proud of something, I think of something I worked for.
I am proud to be black.
Good morning, everyone except self-haters. Matt Letizerong was ousted by Sky Sports. So is that what you ship? maybe literally no one was watching this podcast and yet they started uploading it to YouTube. Rand Paul called for answers in a letter to CDC director detailing how the agency contracted PR firm Weber Shandwick, which also represents Pfizer and Moderna, to carry out research for the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases.
Wait, you think this is normal? How about what you no, you can't do it. You might call that assault, but what do you call it if they're holding up Wait, you think this is...
West Ender asks us, do you think this is normal? Oh, wait. Just Stop Oil blocks Piccadilly starting at midday today. 16 Just Stop Oil supporters have blocked Piccadilly, London. They're demanding that the government halts all new oil and gas licenses. Dr. Lewis Keel, 32, a physicist from Edinburgh, said the public sees the critical need for immediate downscaling of fossil fuels, so does the UN, International Energy Agency, and countless businesses and scientific institutions. Bystander asked, do you think this is normal? No, this isn't normal. It's unacceptable. We don't want to be in the streets in civil resistance, but we have no choice. Unless Rishi Sunak stops new oil and gas, the famines, fires, and floods will get worse. Oil is killing us. Right. The question shouldn't be, do you think this is normal? The question should be, what do you think you are achieving? Because what you think you're achieving is not true, unless what you think you're achieving is nothing. And if what you think you're achieving is nothing, then stop. They're literally funded by billionaires. The police protect you. Well, I mean, the police have a duty to protect everyone. The media amplifies your cause. The government openly pursues your net zero agenda. Your shock troops for technocrat globalists. Your entire existence is a complete fraud. Normal services resumed. Our conservative government is back to satiating the demands of the Extinction Rebellion green wackos demanding a transition that will make poor people massively poorer. Claiming everything is facts-related harms the credibility of legitimate issues with the vaccine. It allows the media to dismiss it all as crazy. Dave Concrete. Oh, fuck, what has Kanye done? I thought these watch Hidden Abyss need to be investigated. Police arrest Subway Ninja who attacked man with sword sheath on NYC train. 27-year-old Brooklyn man was charged with assault and reckless endangerment for his alleged crime. The man Bernardez allegedly attacked Attenborough, Larry Griffin II, who is on parole for leaving at least 2 rice cooker bombs in the Fulton Street subway station in 2019. Rice cooker bombs? What? So with paroled schizo felon density in the NYC subway is so high that the random victims are increasingly other paroled schizo felons. Escape from New York. So this one, the most recent one, Stone Toss is a huge piece of shit, but that did make me laugh. Why? I hope the question is, why is he a huge piece of shit instead of why did he make you laugh? Did I say this or one? It's gonna be amazing watching the left completely flips an important Twitter right to set their own terms of service to advocate for government control Twitter due to spreading dangerous disinformation and national security reasons. Once Elon Musk takes over Twitter, should be as broadly inclusive as possible, serving as a fair forum for lively, even if occasionally coerced debate between widely divergent beliefs.